Ever since COVID hit, pornography use has been on the rise dramatically around the world, not just the U.S. We get clients from every country you can imagine. There are countries that we never thought we would hear from in regards to the use of pornography because of extreme religious beliefs and that kind of stuff, but it doesn't matter. Wherever there is a phone, wherever there is a tablet, there is a computer, there is available pornography. And why? Why has it risen so much? If I look at before COVID, we would get maybe one individual that was struggling with sex addiction or porn addiction, maybe a month. Ever since COVID has happened, even right now in 2024, we probably get 3 to 4 people a week that are contacting us with a struggling with either sex addiction or porn addiction. But porn addiction is much, much more in vogue, we'll say, or it's much more popular. And why? Well, first of all, the whole purpose of any addiction whatsoever is to get us out of reality. So if you're living in stress, who isn't? If you're living in a relationship that's struggling, you're struggling financially, you're struggling because of all the political nonsense, or you're struggling because you're hurt with the wars overseas, maybe you have friends overseas in the middle of the war. You know, there can be all kinds of stressors. Maybe you lost your job, maybe they demoted you. It doesn't matter. But when we're hit with stress, the very first thing the human brain does is try to escape it. That's the whole purpose of addiction, and it does a great job. When we're stressed, and stress can be boredom, depression, anxiety, worrying about the future, guilt and shame about the past, and this is where pornography really screws you over because we are filled with shame and guilt. Guilt and shame. If you're in a relationship, especially. If you're a highly religious person, you're always filled with guilt and shame if you're using pornography. I mean, there's just so many things that come into play with the use of pornography and why it's gotten up. So the stress is through the roof. So people will look for things. And when we look for something like alcohol, you can get away with it if you're single. You can find a way to get away with it if you're in a relationship to deal with your stress. But at some point, that increase in intake is going to rise enough to have your partner notice that something is really wrong. Pornography is free. You can do it in a restroom in a parking lot. You can do it in the restroom in your office. You can do it in a room in your house when no one's around. I mean, it's free. It's everywhere, you know, and it takes you to an altered reality. As you're observing photos or whatever it might be, and you're masturbating, you're getting closer and closer to the release, which takes you to an alternate reality. And even the buildup before the release, you're in an altered reality. You're not thinking of your money stress. You're not thinking of your health worries, your relationship worries, your children worries. You're not worried about a freaking thing because your mind has been hijacked into an altered reality. Now, once we do that a couple times, the subconscious mind goes, oh, that's what David wants. He's got 10 free minutes and his girlfriend, his boyfriend, his wife, his husband, whatever he is not around. And in 5 minutes, we can masturbate. And in 5 minutes, we can be in an altered zone. Oh, my Lord. These are some of the reasons it's become more popular. It's free, it's available anywhere. But the biggest problem in the world is that if you're in a relationship, it's cheating. It's betrayal. You're having an affair on your partner if you're using porn. Whether you want to agree with me or not is inconsequential because it's the truth. Ask any woman who catches her husband on porn and he doesn't want to have sex that much with her and see what she has to say about, you know, is this cheating or not? And 99% of women will say yes. Now, if you have a partner that says, I don't care if you use porn, well, that's a rarity. Then, well, I guess do whatever you want to do. But for most of us, we're destroying relationships and we're going to get caught at some point. The longer you're in an addiction, the more the odds are you're going to get caught. So if you need help, I'm David Essel, 45 years as a counselor, master life coach, #1 best-selling author, 16 books. Reach out to me at talkdavid.com. I'm a former addict, alcoholic. I know the whole pathway to freedom. I've worked with thousands of porn addicts and sex addicts ever since 1979 when I began this, you know, and so this isn't abnormal. It's unfortunately an unhealthy normality in our world today. Let's change it. Let's get you back in control. Let's boost your confidence and self-esteem because you don't need any type of an addiction in order to be happy. The website is talkdavid.com. I'm David Essel. Let's get this cleaned up. Have a beautiful day.